folks, welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, hey, how you doing? My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. And welcome to the warehouse where all the chaos is. It's controlled chaos. If you are new here, so the whole purpose of these videos is, number one, I'm documenting my journey. I'm building something which I've always dreamed to build, that continues to obviously grow, change, and we've had to pivot and adjust for that. We've been doing this. This is the start of year 6, so we've done it for 5 years, starting the 6th year, and it's been a crazy journey to get here. It's been definitely something which has gone beyond all of my expectations, but at the same time, it's always keeping me honest. It's helping me grow as an individual, and it's an exciting process of being able to see it all come together. So if you have no idea what we do, we actually sell pre-loved fashion or pre-loved clothing on eBay. We have all of this. All of this, you can see around me, it's everywhere. But we also have an e-waste business, and we also do a whole bunch of other things in between that, which you'll get an idea of. So I'm documenting this journey, but the other reason why I do this is because I want to help motivate, encourage, and inspire other people to go after what it is they have a dream for. Doesn't have to be eBay, doesn't have to be business, doesn't even have to be anything that I'm sharing here, but it's more so the mentality of, if you want to do something, if you want to achieve something, you got to start from zero, you got to do the work, you've got to put in the action yourself, and you got to take responsibility and accountability for it. And that really is the reason why I do this. This is why I share it, because it hopefully gives you the inspiration and motivation to make it happen for yourself. So, it's a new week. We actually had a long weekend, so it's the 27th of Jan. So Monday we had the day off. It was Australia Day. It was good to kind of have a day off, actually. I've been doing a few other things. But Tuesday today, it's going to be a big day, big week. It's actually going to be a hot one today. It's going to be 40 degrees. So we're going to try and just get out of here by 12 o'clock. I have a jam-packed morning. We have about 90 orders to go out, and we need to pick, pack, and post all of those. So Dion's coming in. We're going to focus on the pick, pack, and post, and then we'll get out of here before it gets a little too sweaty here. But as you can see, that 90 orders. It's probably about 105, 107 items. We're on $90,631. So we're still maintaining the 90 mark. Want to get back up to 100,000 plus, which I think is going to take us another month to do. This month, there's a high chance that we're not going to hit any of our targets, simply because we were away at the start of the month, but that's okay. So a whole bunch of things got to happen this morning. We've got washing coming back. We've got to do the pick, pack, and post. I have a meeting with my new trading program with the company that I'm working with. That's at 9:30. I've got a consignee dropping stuff off at, I think, at 11 o'clock. And I've still got to do a few other admin things as well. So lots of things happening. I just want to stay on top of everything. But, you know, sometimes these things aren't as simple and easy as we expect. But it's going to be a big week. I'm going to take you through all the things on the list shortly, and I've just got to do a couple of little things, get ready for when the team's in, and yeah, we'll get straight into it. So I appreciate being here. We do have timestamps down below. If you want to leave any questions or you have a comment, feel free to jump in, have some fun, continue the conversation, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, so what is happening on the big list here? Actually, it doesn't even look like that much, but this will change. As you know, last week, it changes all the time. So start of the week is the 27th of Jan, which is today. I guess my focus this week, other than the stuff that we have to do today, and today being a shorter week, is I've got this meeting today. There could be a follow-up meeting on that. We've got washing coming and going today. So these two things will probably be done for today. Whatnot is scheduled for the 1st of Feb. We're going to do all the prep work for that, but that probably won't happen till probably Thursday, Friday. Cleanup, I think. There's some stuff here that I want to get done. The front room I need to do a little bit for Whatnot. The jackets, again, only prioritizing once we get to more jackets. Really, my focus is still doing all the e-waste stuff. We're getting more e-waste is coming on, I think it's on Wednesday. So I'm not really going to be able to get much done today. But tomorrow, I think the plan will be to, I'm just going to save this before I forget. I think the plan for tomorrow will be to really just see if we can push through a lot of the cleanup of that e-waste section. I need to get on top of that simply because we're a bit behind. But I love the, you know, the reps coming through of the stock. But you know, I've got all that backlog in there. Obviously having all these pallets here is a little bit inconvenient, but I want to clean up this space, and I want to reuse more of this for actual assortments. Really doubling down on that, because I think there's going to be an extra increase of this in the, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. That's the goal that we're working on. And if I can get that increase coming through, well, then I need to have better processes, better systems, always be learning, always be changing, and always be growing. So lots to be done. I've just got to do a couple of other little videos for some other stuff coming up. I'm going to get to that, and then I'm going to start picking and helping Dion, so that he doesn't have to spend all day here packing items. But yeah, we'll get to that shortly, and I'll take you through some of that too. Alright folks, we just got the washing back. I'm going to start to get this flat laid. Dion's pulling out all the rest of the postage. We've got a whole bunch of good stuff. Good variety, I'll show you all that, but I'm going to start to get this all flat laid. This is all North Face and a little bit of pants, which is good because a bit better ASP and quick turnaround. We didn't send any more washing out because, well, we've got this backlog, so the team will get on this week. We might probably end up sending stuff. I don't think it'll be Thursday. Worst case, might send something Friday, but I think what we'll end up doing is we'll get through all this week. We've still got all of the boxed wash stuff already, so we can have alternating between the team members on that. So probably send out washing, I think, again next week, and that's going to be the rest of the North Face just here, and then we're going to get probably into some of the other stuff over there just to keep the variety. So yeah. Alright folks, we've got a fair bit going out today. Lots of different types of stuff. We've got some phones and tablets, we've got some trading cards, we've got, this is, I think they're playing cards, little old server going out, cloves, a lot of multi-quantity orders. A few people purchased 5, 6, 7 items. We've got some Lego stuff going out here, we've got some shoes, video games, we've got a Mac and this old bad boy, so good to see it going all out. And then there was a couple of jackets too, which some of these are part of the bundle deals as well. So this only listed last week. So it's good to see a lot of this starting to move out, and good to see the jackets. That's why, even though we need to do the prioritization of, you know, starting to sort this, we are starting to sell a few more jackets. So Dion's going to get on this, I'm going to get on the washing flat lay. I've got a meeting at 9:30, so yeah, I better just get to it. Alright team, all stocked up. This is all the North Face, there's a few puffers in here, lots of Azitos, and then we added probably about this much more pants, and about that much more as well. So really good. There's there's probably about 140 pants here now, and there's about 90 of the North Face, a little bit less maybe because there's the excess there. This is probably closer to about 80 maybe. So 80 plus what I say, about 140. Yeah, okay. So that should, hopefully we can get through that here this week-ish. We've still got all this backlog over here as well. And then we'll end up getting into some more boxes this week anyway. So yeah, happy with that, making progress, good to get some good stock up. And we still need to, I've got a discount opportunity on the eBay for saving on variable fees for the next couple of months. So I'm going to try and get into some of the other stuff here as well to save on fees. Alright team, so I had the call, it actually was really good. We've just been doing a bit of triage of data and trying to figure out pricing and things like that, but we've got a few more trade-ins coming in next week, so very, very exciting. That success, I've got to do some more work though, so that's on me. Dion smashing the postage, almost done, getting there anyway. I've just been sorting stuff over here, simply because my dad was just here, he was looking for something, but I've got one of my consignees coming to drop something off before we leave, and yeah, so I'm just out here just kind of cleaning things up, setting stuff up over here, just so we've got space to do things, always be doing things better. And then we've got the e-waste, I think, coming tomorrow night, so Thursday, so really just trying to clean up. I've just been sorting all this stuff into different categories and making sure we're making space for it. So yeah. All right, folks, it is now 12:43. We're almost done. We just had another big delivery of some consignment stock, well, clothing and consignment stock. So we're going to go through that later. I'm not doing that today, and all of this as well. Bunch of different stuff, good variety. So I'm going to have to deal with that tomorrow. But we're just finishing up the last couple of pieces of postage, and then we're going to get out of here because it's already getting pretty hot. It's meant to be 40 by, I don't know, 4:30, but at the moment it's in here, it's saying it's about 33, so the warehouse is starting to get a bit stuffy. So I'm just doing a couple of returns. Dion's finishing the post, and then we're going to pretty much just get out of here. Whew, it is hot. All right, Dion's just finished. It's 1:15. It is ridiculously hot in here now. I've just realized that I'm waiting for a delivery and they haven't come yet, which is very frustrating. I might wait like an extra 15 minutes. I've got to pack the car still with all the postage. We've got 2 bags there, all of that, and then there's another bag there. So basically 2.5 bags. But I don't want to leave that in the van because it is yeah, it's probably worse outside. It's probably about 37. So I'm just gonna, I might take some photos from Lego and stuff at the moment just while I'm waiting. But we're off to a good start today. Like, it's 1:15, and you maybe answer some questions. Maybe we'll do that. Oh, it's hot. We're up to 1:15, and we're running on $816. So today's been pretty good, all things considered. Let's answer some questions quickly. Just while I remember. It is hot. All right, so we had a couple come through so far. There's a question from Mark Farr. Do you list the same amount of items every day? If so, how many? Or do you just go get up whatever you can? So at the moment, our goal is, well, at the moment we're averaging about 50, 51. I want to be doing a minimum of 70. But because because we were away for 2 weeks, well, I was away for 4, but the team was away for 2 weeks, and it's still school holiday, so we haven't had the team isn't at full shift in terms of we're not back at full capacity. So hopefully once we get back at our groove, we should be doing a minimum of 70 per day. I've got enough stock to do that. But because I exhausted everything, we just got to get back to rebuild. And like even today, like, you know, we're taking half days. It's just too hot. I'm not going to have my staff work in these conditions. It just doesn't make sense. But tomorrow I've got both Dion and the other photographer. So yeah, we'll get there. I've been doing a bit of the e-waste today and electronics and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, if I can list one thing, I'll list one thing. I mean, if I can list more than the 70 that I want to do, I'll list more. But yeah, that's the idea, is just being consistent at this point. Whew, top. The other one came from Top Gear. It wasn't really a question. It was more of a just FYI, but appreciate the comment, mate. One thing on coupons, I don't believe store coupons stack with eBay coupons. I recommend having an alt account on eBay Plus available so you can view your own listings and see if they're offering eBay Plus coupons, etc., etc. I really think doing a percentage discount to get the slash through price is the superior visually and gives customer a better deal when stacking coupons. Yeah, 100%. Having a few tiers of discount like you do seems to be really good. Bigger discounts on older stock, smaller for new things might have just not hit the right person's eyeballs yet. Yeah, keep up the grind. Thanks for the content. It helps when listing and working away. Appreciate you. Yeah, so basic on this, it's 100%. If you're doing a markdown, they will stack with coupons. But if you're doing a coupon sale, you can't double stack coupons. Sometimes eBay has allowed their, it's like a consignment promo where like they'll take 10%, they'll cover 10%, you have to pay 10%. That can sometimes stack. But markdown is the best way. So you could do 40% off and then you could have a 10% coupon. So it looks to the customer, looks like they're getting a better deal. The best coupon that has been for me, it surprises. My best performing coupon. I don't think you could guess this. Take a moment. What would you think is my best performing coupon? And I'll bring this up and I'll show it to you. Just give me a second. Oh, it's hot. It's bad. I'm going to have to go. My best performing coupon is, let's go to active. Best one is an extra $10 off, $25 or more. and that has done $6,623 in revenue sales since the 1st of December. So pretty good. You can see it just there. Nice little one. So yeah, definitely worth trying a few different things. Definitely worth it. Really great conversation question. I think that's it. I think that's it so far. So yeah. Yeah, not too bad. All right, I'm going to just give it a little bit, and I'll probably say bye when I go, and then we'll get out of here. All right, team, I got my package, and it has been delivered, which is great. This is some more goodies that we need to be able to start leveling up on a few other things, so more on that tomorrow. I'm going to pack the van, and I'm going to get out of here. Ciao! And just like that, it was Wednesday. I was almost going to say Tuesday. I hope you're doing well, folks. Whew, it is stuffy in here. It's, after yesterday's scorcher, just going to get all the doors and stuff open just so we can cool the place down a bit. First thing I've got to do actually today is put the bins out. We've got our bin collection today. Hopefully today we're going to start to smash through a whole bunch of stuff in here. Oh, this thick air. Hang on. Let me just open up and I'll get back to you because it is real thick in here. I need to have some airflow. All right, it's a bit better. I'm gonna get the fans on as well, but yeah, what I was saying is I've got to do a couple of admin things this morning. Get on top of that. I'm gonna do a short video, get that all sorted, and then my focus today is continuing to just clean up, get through the e-waste stuff. That's my number one priority at the moment. I've reached out to a couple of suppliers. A couple of buyers that I'm a supplier for, just saying we've got more stock in, ready for them to come get. I'm going to try and clean up all this today. I've got to get the bins out, the media bins, because they're getting picked up today as well. So a little bit of shuffling. I've got a bit of a headache from the heat, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, in terms of where things are, we ended up at about 1,200 yesterday. Again, we're still a bit behind where I want to be. We're sitting on 89,000 again. It's dropped down because the prior quarter was one of our best quarters. So now in this new quarter, it's the 90-day total changes daily, right? So we're playing a bit of catch up, 89,000. So got 11 orders to go out. Just going to get photoing, listing of all the e-waste stuff, get the team on the other stuff. I got some new little tech tools to try out. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, team, just been getting settled in. I was actually doing a short video on 5 tips on how to sell clothing, and if you want to check out that video, you can go check it. I'm trying to do more of this, so if you've got questions that you want me to answer in short form content, more than happy to do it. This was the 5 tips of how to sell better clothing. Desirable items, you want to be selling them, you need to have knowledge acquisition, learn about these items, understand, do research, what sells, what doesn't. What's the condition of the item, how you're pricing it, and the value proposition you bring. Anyway, more in that video. Go check it out. I'm going to jump onto our little checklist here. I'm going to save this one. See where things are at. Oh, it's hot. All right, so we have done this one. Potentially a few more comms to happen on this. Washing went out. Whatnot's all done. We just got to actually just do the prep. I've actually had a conversation with one of my consignees about all this stuff that arrived and the stuff out the front there about, do we just want to do it on Whatnot and we'll just liquidate it that way? They said, yep, let's do it. So things are going to be ramping up and changing in that perspective. I'm going to keep doing some cleanup of the shelving and stuff out in the open area there near the e-waste. And my priority is still this. The team's priority is just do photos of clothing today. Dion will have a little bit of postage to do, but not much. That's it. Get us back into the groove. I might actually go put the fan on down the back there for the team just get this hot air out of here. It's just disgusting. Other than that, I'm just really just, yeah, a lot of exciting things happening. But it's one of those things at the moment where it's just kind of like, we just got to keep doing the reps to get the results. All right, team, this is what we've got going out. Whole bunch of, yeah. Oh, actually, hey, we just sold something. We just sold 3 more items. Is it 3 more items? Yeah. Yep, sweet. So a couple more items just come through. That's great. A whole bunch of North Face by the looks. All right, so we've got, this is just really bread and butter stuff. Don't think there's any bangers. There was, oh, actually there was one that's gone for like 213 bucks, wasn't it? What was that? Scroll down there, just there. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that was a consignment piece though, and some shoes. So not too bad. We'll see how we go today. We did sell this jacket as well. This one ain't too bad. I'm just over here, just shuffling things already, just getting ready so that I can have the big bins out ready to go, because they're probably going to get picked up later today, but that way at least I can start doing some shuffling and work in here. So let's get to it. Well, that looks somewhat better, but the pallets have to come back in, so they're just picking up the 2 media bins. The pallets will have to come back in here, but I'm going to probably leave them out for a bit while it's still shady, so I can just get to all this and get it done. Just gives me the ability to get it done, and then I can probably put another one in here. And anyway, we're gonna have plenty of room. Actually, I'll probably end up moving that in there. Progress. All right, while I'm doing this sorting in here and over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put a few things on charge and get stuff happening in parallel. We've got to try out these new little doobie whackers as well, and I've still got this stuff to sort and whatever, so just trying to get ahead on that. Ideally make some space in here, and we've got to count all the media today as well, and then just been cleaning up a little bit of space over here as well, just make some room. So yeah, happy days. So what were those little new tools and things that we got? Well, let me show you. So we're going to be getting some more cameras in soon, and I'm just getting some stuff to test. That was a little SD card. These guys are basically just a few more little they're docks, controllers, but converters, little things to help us to be able to do some of the different hard drives. So we've got a whole bunch of these Mac SSDs, which we want to essentially format and get ready for resale. So I needed a converter because the standard docking station that I had does not fit it. So we got one of those, and then the other little thing that we got here, so that's the converter there. Just picked this off Amazon, I think it was, or eBay. I think it was Amazon actually. And then I've got myself a little caddy here, which, geez, there's some screwdrivers and things in here. I've got to be careful. This caddy, oh yeah, yeah, okay. So this basically is another converter to do multiple different devices. And the idea for this one is because Mac, you know, why not, tend to just change things up. So it can tell you what type of SSDs it does. You probably can't see, it's a bit dark. But if I look at this, that one won't go in there. That one will go in this one, I think. Where are we? Yeah, so that's no, that's a different one again. There we go. So this is for the MacBook 2012, so you can see it goes in, and there's a little screw there that you can do. And what this means is I can put this in the other dock that I've got here, and it just means that we can, yeah, get a few more things done. So happy with that. This just slots in. Just give me a second. Make sure it's all working. Just got to get that screw out. Beautiful. It's just going to sit on top of there. I feel like I'm going to drop this screw. I'm not really in the good spot, so you can see it's just going to go in here. And if I bring this down, you probably can't still see it. I'm just going to put a little screw in here and dropped it. Just a screwdriver. This is not the working environment that I have intended for this to be, but for now we're doing MVP style, minimal viable product, and then that one will fit in there, and that is a 2010, so another older one. And the good thing is you can plug these both in at the same time, and you just hit a switch and then it selects which one you want to actually talk to on the computer. So yeah, happy days with that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, that's done, and then we've got a couple more there, which that one is for that one. Alright, and that's for a screw as well. So this one is for this one, which is a more recent version. Okay, Apple and their changing of types of devices. They know how to make money, guys. That's essentially the reason they do it. That one's a bit too long. That's interesting. So it fits in there, but the screw is too... Oh, I probably need to move it to there, maybe? Anyway, guys, this is all part of the learning process. Alright team, it's now 11:50, we're making some good progress. I think we're almost now at the position to see my total backlog. So just to let you know of how much phones and iPhones we need to process still, there's this box, there's this box, and then there's still all of this over here. I've already done all this stuff over here, I've been doing iPods and stuff. At the moment it's just very slow simply because we're going to go one by one. We've then got older stock here and here, but that's not priority. That'll be like if I ever run out of stock kind of thing. And then I've still got all the Samsungs. We've got a whole bunch of video games, that's from something else, but just getting into a backlog. Got a little bit of GPS, modems, a couple of hi-fi units. They're separate unit, that's why they're just separate person, so just separated. That's going out to my media guy who buys all my consoles. I'm waiting to hear back. And then over here we've got calculators, we've got cameras. That one I'm going to sell. Dion's just doing the calculation of the remotes. And I think we're back in a position of being able to just, I can time box to certain different categories. And over here's all the networking gear and a couple of speaker systems. So there's quite a lot going on. We've got a little bit of Apple TV stuff here. These were all the ones that we cannot sell. And they will go back, so I'm just making up weight piles of those. So yeah, full force. I still need to sort all of this one. All of this is non-clothing, I believe, so who knows what's in that. Alright team, it's now 1:20. I've done a whole bunch of iPods and I'm just actually going to get these listed straight away, just because I haven't got to my listings yet, so I want to get some of that high end. And we also found a iPhone X, which is unlocked and working, so I'm going to get that one up as well. But I've just got the photos uploading via Dropbox. I had a comment come through, and look, when comments come through, sometimes, you know, when I hear it from people, I don't know how they're suggesting it to come across, and I try and look at everything in a, you know, open perspective, simply because it can be hard to have a conversation when you're not in person. And I'm open for anyone to leave a comment or message, but I also like to make sure I'm addressing things where things don't seem right or aren't making sense, or when it might be a person's own opinion, which is 100% fine, but I also need to make sure I stand up for my own, you know, my individualism and my own opinions, and, you know, making sure that my messaging is right around what I'm trying to achieve. And this one I'm confused by. I don't know, but I don't really want to make it a big deal, but I also want to be transparent about it because they're saying I'm not being transparent. So this has come from Echo Atlas. Yo, Chris, my guy. Remember that heavy session last year when someone called you out for being a total cook? Like saying that you were fake and all that. Look, I'm just being real with you, brother. When you intentionally hide the numbers just because the vibes are low and things aren't pumping, it's not a good look. You're always talking about being transparent, but when you're over here dodging the truth when it's flat, it's just not authentic, man. I'm not coming for you. I'm trying, or throw shade. I'm just looking out for you and trying to help you. So this one, I mean, I would agree. Like, you know, if you're hiding numbers, because something doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. But where am I hiding numbers? I don't understand this. I think where the confusion is last week I was very transparent in saying when the numbers are low, it's deflating, right? And it's not something that I'm going to harp on about because I want to just go get work done. And whether I'm showing numbers or calling numbers out, maybe I didn't show a screenshot. I don't think. I don't know. What I replied to this individual, and I don't mean anything, by this individual. I'm just confused by what they're trying to say, and maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe they haven't taken what I was saying in the way that I was trying to suggest it was meant to be. But this is the way I see it, right? So I express how I'm feeling when I'm feeling it, the highs, the lows. When things are down, it's frustrating, it's stressful. When things are up, it's happy days. Don't have to think about it. Revenue, we're down. We're down simply because I had 4 weeks off and we're playing catch up to get back up to where I want it to be. So I'm not harping on about it because until I've got it back up to where I want it to be, I don't really want to be, going crazy on the numbers because at the moment it's not where I want it to be. So I'm going to work harder to get it to where I want it to be. So I was very honest about that. I was saying that, it's, I'm not vibing it, not feeling it because I ain't seeing the numbers at the moment. But that doesn't mean I'm not being transparent. That's being 100% transparent. What I don't understand is if I share the numbers, and I will continue to share the numbers, people complain it's not worth it. But that's not my problem. That's an individual's problem. If they see what I'm doing and it's not worth it for them, that's why I'm doing it and they're not doing it, right? Because that's my mission, my dream, my goal, whatever. But if I don't share the numbers, which I am sharing the numbers, even if I'm talking about it, calling it out, or showing a screenshot, and why I explain about why the numbers are what they are, apparently that's not being transparent. It's crazy. So if I don't share the numbers, which I am, I'm confused by it. I'm just really confused of what do I need to do here to meet everyone's expectation. And so I said back to this individual, I said, either way, I cannot meet everyone's wants and needs and expectations. I'm only trying to meet my own. I say it pretty clear. I'm trying to document the journey. I'm trying to share the journey. I will try and share everything as transparent as possible in terms of what I can show you that does not obviously hinder me in terms of, revealing my suppliers and things like that. And I talk about the numbers. I talk about it in terms of what it means. Is it a concern to me? What I'm doing about it? But at the end of the day, why does it even matter to anyone else? I'm sure if I was here out losing money every month, and we've only had a single month where we've not been profitable in the last 6 years, people would be out here, kind of laughing, told you so, whatever. But I'm still here. I'm still making it happen. But it's just weird how there is such a focus and objective of wanting to see people's numbers, one, to either see if they're failing, to see if they're, being on track to where they think they should be, versus are they actually, super exceeding expectations. And I mean, that's a very common thing in Australia. I don't know if this person's from Australia, they could be from US, but, tall poppy syndrome. And when we see other people naturally succeeding, it's very common in Australia that, we bring them down. And I appreciate the comment, man. I appreciate you calling out. And if something isn't transparent, I will do my best in trying to meet and do a better requirement of that. Because I don't really want to make people think that I'm, not sharing the numbers. But what I've tried to really address on the feedback last year was people wanting me to explain in detail about why I'm doing things and how I'm doing things. So rather than focusing on numbers, which I haven't focused much on numbers, I'm still talking about numbers. I've really tried to make sure people understand, intention, action, how we do things, the go-abouts of things in my decision-making process, opposed to we're making this much money and happy days. The reality is, as a small business owner, is, sure, revenue is important. Obviously, profit is the most important thing. Cash flow is actually my most important thing, to be honest, because it's a roller coaster. And I said it last week, when I feel like the numbers are up, I'm bouncing off walls. When the numbers are down, it's concerning, and it's like, okay, what am I doing to get back up to where, when you're putting in all the work that you think is the right decisions to be making the results that you want. So look, I appreciate it, Echo. I know you're probably just trying to, you know, help or whatever, but I get defensive with this stuff simply because, you know, I really am trying to make sure I'm building a very consistent sharing document, like a very consistent path of sharing and a very consistent path of documenting what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell people how to do it. So if it's, you know, if it's not working out, you know, people shouldn't be just doing the same thing I'm doing, because clearly I don't have it all figured out. This stuff just cracks me up, the amount of effort and time people go on and harp on about this stuff. But I mean, if people want to see more numbers, I can share more numbers. What do you want to see? Like, I mean, what else is there to show? I show my revenue or profit at the end of every month. I show my you know, numbers each week of how much we've sold, what we've sold. I don't know. Is it just me that I'm taking this the wrong way? Is this person out of line? Am I missing something? For all the other 4,300 subscribers that are here subbed, what else do you want from me? I don't know. Anyway, just addressing it. It's just frustrating because I really do want to be able to give everyone some value in these episodes. And everyone's looking for something different. So I'm never going to be able to meet the expectations of what everyone wants. I get that. But, you know, I would love to be able to, because the more I can have come here and hang out, the more we can, you know, build a community together. And I want it to be a positive community. I don't want it to be, you know, someone said this or the drama here and drama there. I don't want drama. Like, I really don't. I just want to be on with it, build the business and share that, you know, exciting journey with everyone else and motivate and inspire others to do that. So if you want more numbers, I can give it to you. I don't know what else to show there, really. I'm just venting at this point. Pictures are now loaded. I'm gonna go do these listings and then we'll get back to it. All right, just listed all the iPods and quick little win. This one sold instantly. 160 bucks. They did have a coupon, so it's probably like 140 bucks, but I'll take it. All right, team eWaste is on its way. It's not actually eWaste coming. They're coming to pick up stuff, then they're taking it, then they're coming back with eWaste. So I've actually now got to get this back out because I thought it wasn't coming till later, but apparently he'll be here probably in the next 15-20 minutes. So I've got to reshuffle all of this. All right, team, we've had the first pallet has gone and the 2 media bins have gone. We've still got 1 media bin here, but that one's I can't lift it, but it's not fully full. They're coming back with hopefully some goodies for me by around 4:30. So I've done a few more listings and photos. I've done a whole bunch more photos. I'm gonna go do some more listings now that they've been done. And how's everything going over here? This is still going. We've done a good bunch. We're building up a bit of a stockpile now in here. It just takes time, and there is some software that we can do to, you know, do multiple items at the same time, but again, really kind of bootstrapping it, trying to avoid having to spend too much money at the same time. But we are slowly getting through this because it's just a bit of triage, but we have a huge backlog to get through. We've got a big bundle of Cisco phones. I'm going to try and see if I can just auction these off at a wholesale lot. Probably going to be the best way to do it, I think. And I've just been picking out some quick wins out of this stuff as well, just to bundle lots. Just checked in with my media guy. He's coming next week, so this I can move and put away for next week. Yeah, just keeping things ticking over. Woo. All right, team, it is now 4:30. Just waiting for the eWaste to come back. Hopefully he comes and don't leave me hanging. It's a new driver, so I don't have their details. Actually, we've got to exchange numbers. I've just moved this in here because this is where I've got to spend a bit of time in here tomorrow, because all this stuff's going to be going on Whatnot. So I've got to get this prepped. I've just got it in here out of the sun. Today we've done pretty good in terms of progress with the rolling off the tongue. I mean, we've made extra space here. So once another eWaste comes through, obviously it'll be here. But we've cleared out a fair bit of stuff here in terms of sorting of goods. Not kind of where I want to be yet, simply because we still have a lot to get through, and it's just taking a little bit of time. That's also because of the processes. And over here, the team's done really well with getting, I think the eWaste is here. getting really well with getting the pants done. So good progress here. I've got one of them also was doing the North Face. So, oh, they're halfway through that. Sweet. So yeah, good progress there. John's already starting to process those and get them listed tonight. Yeah, that's kind of it. So good productive day. Like I said, tomorrow and Friday's focus is going to be getting whatnot prep ready. And tomorrow I'll be doing eWaste if it gets here on time tonight. So I'll do that. And yeah, I might just do a quick little cleanup here again, just because some of this stuff isn't going till next week. So now I can put it away. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the e-waste. All right, here we go. It's 5:30 overtime today, and we've got a pallet. So that's tomorrow. Woohoo! And just like that, folks, it was Thursday. Oh, I am so excited. The joy and the excitement I get knowing that I get to start to get into this today, it just gets me excited. I am so excited. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. It's 7 o'clock, just got in. It's a bit cooler in here. Not super cool, but it's good to see the temperatures are coming down. All right, how are things going? Yesterday we ended up doing about 1,300. We're off to a pretty good start. We sold a whole bunch of those iPods, and someone has purchased all the phones. Though I haven't paid for the phones. That will come through today, which is even better because it'll be, I think it was about $600. So very happy with that. In terms of where we're at, for the people that are saying that I'm not sharing my numbers, I'm going to share my numbers just so you can all see. We're on 90,101, and we've got a couple of days left of the month, which is the first month of the year. And look, we're way behind. And again, the reason why we're way behind is simply because we had 2 weeks off at the start of January, so we've only really done half a month, and our numbers are way below. So we're going to land at probably 32,000 revenue. Usually we average about closer to 37 to 40, and which is actually pretty good, because considering we didn't work for 2 weeks and things like that, we're still going to probably land at about 3K profit, which is just shy of, we're probably going to land just shy of 10%. So I'm very happy with that. And of course we haven't had as many expenses because the team's been away and things like that, but still nice little win there. In terms of volume going out, I think there's only like 5 orders, it's not much, but oh no, 14 orders, not 5. 14 orders are going out, which would be pretty good. So Dion's in today. It's just me and Dion. I'll get Dion on doing the postage, and then I'll get him focused on doing more of just bang, bang, bang photos of pants. I've already listed 37 items this morning. I'll be doing a little bit more a little bit later. I just wanted to, I did that before I came here. I still need to continue to clean up. There's a few things that need to be done, but I'm really just going to get set up, put some things on charge, and we're going to get straight into this, because that's my quickest win and for the best outcome for today. But yeah, let's all of these are sold. So this is through the new process. All of these have gone through, and we've done details like reset them all, and they're all basically they're all ready to be used by a new user, but they just have repair requirements. So was able to get a bit higher ASP on these ones. These weren't top dollar phones, so like we've been selling individual phones that are worth like $100, where previously they used to go into these lots. Now these lots won't have any of the top tier phones, and this one for 600. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 13 14. So basically 14 devices for 625, because 25 postage divided by 14. So these have gone for $44 a pop. So previously we were selling them about between 15 and 25 with all the good ones in it. But by removing the good ones and selling them for about $80 to $110, this elevates this one to basically about double the revenue for better phones as well. So everyone's winning in this case. There is one little challenge on this, is because the throughput is still taking a little bit of time doing individual items. So I'm working on how do we change this again, continuously updating it. Things are everywhere at the moment, but just being able to do multiple things at the same time using Apple Configurator to automate some things. And yeah, it's just going to take time. It's learning, but it's working, and that's all that matters. I'm going to get set up and go through the e-waste. So I'm actually going to be filming a lot of this for some shorts content. Basically, we're going to go one box at a time and just show what's inside it, and you can follow the process with me. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you are following me on the shorts section. Also on Instagram, just really trying to change up the content a little bit. And in these videos, I'm really just going to show the outcomes. So yeah, make sure you check them out. All right, let's get into this. We're going to do one box at a time. There's about 200 kilos here. First thing we have to do is obviously weigh it and document it, and then yeah, we can go through and sort it. All right, this was box number one. I'm not going to do this for every box for you guys. I'll show the total end, but it was actually a really good first box, especially for my first short form content. We got all these phones, and then we even got a whole bunch of laptops here as well. So definitely pretty cool out of 24 kilos. I mean, this I think is a iPhone 12 possibly, which will be pretty good. Well, it might not work, so yeah, I was happy with this. This is really good. All right, on to the next one. All right, Dion is in. He's got all the posts out, which was pretty quick actually. We've got some football cards going out. We've got some Pokemon EV World cards going out. Oh, we sold a bundle of Blu-rays as well. That was pretty cool. And what do we got here? Just yeah, kind of bit of everything. The big winner in here is, it's probably at the very bottom, isn't it? Yeah, this is a nice little, I'll put it up on screen, folks. Nice little Coogie 3D knit dress. This one went for, how much did it go for, down?
180, 150.
There we go. Oh, it was 200, but I think they had the discount code.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not too bad. Very happy with that. Nice little win for this morning. Yeah. Bread and butter and some bangers. I'll take it. These have all sold, but they haven't paid yet. So this sold for 600. This one went for 41, I think. So yeah. One other thing I forgot to show, because I was meant to get it out and I forgot to get it for down, was we sold this bundle of iPods. These have all been reset and ready to go. It's just that they all need new batteries. I think that whole lot went for, must have been just around $200. The person's paid, yeah, 170 plus 13 postage, so not too bad. All right, team, we are all done now. It's 9:47. It took a little bit of extra time because I was doing some filming, but we got a whole bunch of old VeloCloud routers, which I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with those. We did get some Cisco routers. We also got some 5G routers as well, which will be interesting to do some research on. Little Uniden, like, you know, radio, whatever. And then what we've got over here is, this is all the phones. Wasn't a lot, but should be alright. Really comes down to if they will work, if I can sell them. A whole bunch of laptops. Here's coming today. A couple of Macs. Some old vintage stuff here. We've got a motherboard. We did get some other like old stuff in here, but not all this is going to be kept. We did get some RAM and an i5. I think it's a Gen 7 little Bose SoundLink Mini, which is pretty cool. So not a crazy amount, but it wasn't a lot. But if I can sell those routers retail at $999, so there could be some, you know, resale value there. But like anything, got to do lots of research. So yeah, I'm gonna get cleaning up because it is chaos over there. And we'll get to it. Alright team, it's almost cleaned up. We've got the pallet almost ready. I'm actually just going to go do a cardboard run. Even though we've got all this cardboard, we've got another whole van full. Just getting rid of excess stuff that we don't really use. Like these we use for sorting and stuff, but I had a whole bunch. So I'm going to go do that now, and yeah, we'll be back shortly. Woo! Let's have a little pulse check conversation. I'm actually enjoying just getting in the car and have a quick little chat. Almost was thinking, actually, at this point we've almost done a cardboard run once a week. Might have to. It's about $100 a month. It's ridiculous. But by the time you think about it, I've probably spent this year just doing, which is in the last 3 weeks, doing cardboard runs. It's probably taken 2 hours. Only just, you know, getting it ready, putting it in the car, unpacking the car, So it's probably going to get to the point where it's worth to just get a cardboard bin. Pay the $100. I might be able to speak to my current guys and just say, hey, look, can you do it? If I add on a cardboard bin, can you do me a deal or something? That's what I'm thinking. It's going to say it's more money, but like I just like the ability to be able to have all those things established, and as we progress, it just kind of gets absorbed anyway. Speaking of dollars, just been thinking about everything this month and like having a lower month, and you know, not too concerned by it because we haven't been working. But actually, it's actually really interesting because this month I had a really unexpected, well, it's not unexpected, totally forgot about that it was coming, was the renewal of the insurance of this van. And because it's a loan and financed, insurance premiums are ridiculous on it. That's because in case something happens, I'm paying it to the basis that if something happens, it pays out the loan, which is just a safety net, but it's a higher premium. So that renewed at like $3,500, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But there was a couple others I could have saved $100 here or there, but it's like, you know, whatever. My point is that came this month, and even with that, and you know, all the other expenses that we've had, we're actually still coming in at about 10% net. So if we actually hadn't had this, things would have been pretty lean, and that makes me feel pretty happy and confident to know that you know, we had a lot of excess expenses come through last quarter of last month, but now we're getting a bit of a runway, and because we're not doing as much, well, it's not that we're not doing as much washing, but cash flow is a little bit better this month. Actually, it's probably going to be one of the best months we've had cash flow, and it's a shorter month. So that's a really interesting little point. I'm going to have to dive into it and understand, you know, where the wins are. Now, the advantages there was because I wasn't paying as much staff because the staff were away. So one thing that I mentioned at the start of this year was that I want to continue to empower the staff in making more decisions in order to you know, have better output from them. Now, my main two team members, Dion and the photographer, like, they're the best, absolutely the best. If I could have another one of each of them, perfect. You know, and I do pay them well. I don't pay them, you know, minimum wage. I'm paying them what they deserve, and you know, there's probably ways that I probably could have saved paying them what I pay them by, you know, saying, oh no, their role is this and not that. But you know, I don't think that's the appropriate. I know people that underpay others because they, you know, trying to save dollars and all that situation. It's just not appropriate, and I find that interesting because people say to me, it's like, oh, you know, I'm not making that much money, and it's like, well, I'm also doing everything by the book, like making sure I am paying them super, got work cover, all these different things. That's really important to me because I want my team to be motivated. They're not here just, I'm not having staff here just for a short-term win. I'm having my staff here for, like, I want them to feel motivated, you know, obviously motivated from dollars, but also inspired to help build something, right? And we're building an amazing thing here. So that's on the back of my mind. But other than that, like, you know, that e-waste that we've just done wasn't a lot of like my normal bangers, but there's a lot in there which I don't know, and that's what I love, is because I have to spend more time, have to learn more things, but some of the resale value on that could be potentially, you know, next level, and it means the next time that stuff comes through, it's a win. Like, we got some network switches, and yeah, that stuff we haven't had really before, some Cisco ones. Again, not top dollars, but even if I'm getting $150 a pop, and I've got 4 of those ones, and then we've got all those 5G routers, like, it's great. It's a great way to learn. So excited for that. Didn't get the cameras though, didn't get many phones. The phones, there's probably $300, $400 there. Considering that was the least amount, you know, even so, we still did about 200 kilos. I still believe that, you know, we're still probably going to clear about 1,500, 2,000 from that. Now, of that 250 kilos, we're only taking probably about 100 maybe. So, yeah, it ain't all that bad. I'd love to hear from you guys. How's your week been? What's you know, what's been happening? What's on top of mind? I think one thing which I'm enjoying this year is like, you know, as much as having to rebuild, getting us back up to peak levels. And as I said last week, that we're actually doing about 112,000 with the wholesale and the non-clothing pieces that we're not selling on eBay. So eBay's about 90,000, and then we're doing about an extra, it's about another 20,000 every 90 days in some of the other stuff. So things aren't really that bad. I would like to get the business back to averaging that 40,000 minimum and a month. That's both wholesale and eBay. And then I want to push towards a $50,000 a month. That would be a goal for this year, and then continue to lift up those profits. I did mention last week that I wanted to talk a little bit about my goals. I mean, that's kind of the gist of it, but really the focus is just to get throughput and output smooth, because if we can do that, that will elevate our profit because things will be quicker, and yeah, really just double down on growing the business from the ability to have more available to our customers. But I think my main focus to achieve that is the value that we provide to our customers. And if I look through my feedback, people say the value is really good because we're quick, we pack it well, good pricing, quality goods, and we're not mucking around. We provide all the returns and all that stuff. So really, people buying from us can buy with that confidence. And ASP actually at the moment on eBay is actually pretty good. I'll have to share that up on screen, because we've actually had a bit of an elevation in ASP in the last month and a half, because even November we were doing about a $65 ASP. So that makes a huge difference because yes, we're a volume seller, but it means that if we're selling stuff for, rather than $35 a pop, but we're selling it for $60 a pop or $70 a pop, we're doing half the work for the same money, right? So I'm now at the tip. I'll be back in a jiffy, folks, and we'll continue the conversation. All right, all done. That was good. And also got some other good news, which is, I think last week I was talking about how there's this new collection system, which hopefully I'm going to be doing majority of the work with. It looks like that's happening from this week. I mean, just because it's like, when I say it's happening, like they're launching, they're making it happen, they're starting. What does that mean for me? It just means I will probably be doing pickups if there's anything in my area. I get to basically manage and sort anything in my area. What that will look like, I'm not really trying to put any estimate to it at this point. I don't want to be reliant on it, but to having a little bit more control, but also having a more opportunity coming into my space, that's great. But with all these things, it's always like, it's good to have ideas. Put it this way, it's like expectation versus reality. Sure, I've got huge expectations for it, that it's going to change the world, that it's going to make a huge difference to our business, but the reality is it probably won't. And until it does, we're just going to cruise with it. When that kind of like starts to happen and come through, I will share a bit more on that. But essentially, the detail behind it is it's another recycling mob, and they're getting started, and they've kind of got to focus purely on reuse, rehome, repair, opposed to like, let's just chuck out old electronics and stuff. Exactly what I want, because that's good for me. And they want me to be their partner in terms of being the one that is able to find buyers to reuse it. So basically I'm working for them as a reseller. The beauty is there's no kind of real cost logistic in it. If it's going to be in my area, that logistic cost will probably go up, but at this point it's kind of like, it's not really going to be taking much time out. If it's a scheduled booking here or there, I get to choose when that is, and hopefully it's going to be money bearing every time. But again, you really got to figure it out in terms of, is it going to be worth it, is it not? We'll see. Hopefully I'll have a result in the next 2 weeks, whether it's first pickup, first collection, I don't know, but we will wait and see. I'm excited for that, and stay tuned for more on that. Anyway, I'm heading back to the warehouse. It's almost lunchtime, and yeah, the rest of the day I'm really just sorting e-waste, gonna test those phones, do the MacBooks, got my laptop guy coming in the afternoon, just charge on. Alright, so that phone, the iPhone that I thought was, I think I said it was a 13, it's actually a 12, and I'm currently doing the DFU approach with the Mac on the Apple configurator. It's very hard to do that when the screen is black. I had to kind of do it from, you have to follow a sequence of events, and because you can't see it, you're totally guessing. Anyway, I did it like 5 times, couldn't get it to work. Tried it one more time, and it worked. So now we're doing the installation. Sorry, we're erasing everything. We're doing a refresh, reinstall, and then it will tell us if it's locked or not. And if it's locked, can't sell it. If it's not locked, it's pretty much a good, ready to go phone. Just needs to have the repair done on the front and the back, which I think my regular buyer will be keen to buy this. We'll probably get, because of the condition of the phone, I'll be pushing $100, I reckon. But still, I'll take it. It was locked. That's a poop. Oh well. Whew. All right, team. It's now 1:53. You just have my laptop guy here, and there wasn't a lot there for him, unfortunately, but he did still get me $70, so I'll take it. I've just been doing a quick little pull out of RAMs and stuff. We'll just make these into kilo lots, whether they get sold as kilo lots or to local people that melt them down, unless it's really high-end stuff, which we would resell ourselves. I'm going to get into these. Other than that, I'm thinking about this afternoon, actually, probably, maybe not, it's a bit hot. I've got to continue to sort this stuff. Totally forgot. I've got to get this ready for whatnot, so need to make some space in here, essentially, to be able to just pull from these boxes, essentially. So probably got to do that today, tomorrow. I've got to work out what I'm doing with this big table as well. So look, if I don't get to it today, it's going to be tomorrow's problem, but we'll see. I don't think Carla's here tomorrow, so I can probably work in here as well. So still a few things to get done today, and I've got to go photo a couple of things for some quick wins. Like some of this RAM and stuff that we got will sell pretty quick. What I do need to spend a lot of time doing probably is all of this stuff as well. It needs a lot of testing and triage, but if it's working, some of these will sell for probably $600 pre-owned, so that's why I want to spend the time and do it. But again, it all takes time. All right, we're doing a little bit of just cleaning of some CPUs and the RAM. I'm also going to clean up this motherboard as well. This will get sold as parts untested. I believe this is what they all came from the same machine anyway, but for this one, look, I usually just do a spot check, see if there's anything that looks like water damage, looks like actual damage, pins bent, all that kind of stuff. And then if there isn't anything, well, happy days. It looks pretty good to me. We'll give this a little bit of a clean, but you can't really see what I'm doing, sorry. We're basically looking at this. So I'll just give this a bit of a clean, blow out any dust in some of these holes. I'll pull this guy out as well, get him out, and yeah, we'll just list it as is. Basically, we just say it came from a decommissioned machine and take a gamble on it, really. We don't literally say that, but you get my point. Yeah, just getting these done, some quick wins. I'll get them listed now as well. This RAM will probably sell, hopefully, within the same day. Yeah. Jeez, this is dusty. Whoo! All right. Dion's gone. He's just finished for the day, and I'm now just about to do some quick work for this new collection system. Just testing a couple of things for them, but I'm going to just time box that, and then I'm going to do a little bit of work over here for setup for the whatnot. I've been a bit slack on that, so I need to do that and probably do a video of that and post it onto whatnot and get that all started and get that ready to push it. Hopefully we'll be back to doing almost weekly whatnots at this point. Just haven't kind of worked out my schedule on that. But while I've got you, I figured I'd just jump in and show you where we're at for today, how things are going. Today, revenue, we've done $784. Actually, that does not look right. Let's just double check this. There is a mistake. 1 second, please. Always know when my numbers are wrong because my graph goes out of whack. What's today? 29th. So there's an item here that I've put the wrong date on. That is probably why. So let me just get that sorted. Give me a second. Okay, that's better. So we've done $855 today. That includes $71 of wholesale. For the week so far, we're sitting on $4,648. Week forecast is likely to be we're sitting likely to be around 8,134. I know I've got someone buying, I think they're coming tomorrow maybe to buy some cameras. We've got all those phones to be sold for 600. So we'll probably end up getting closer to 9,000 hopefully this week, and I'm listing as much as possible. Yeah, it's not too bad, all things considered. Considering that most of our sales come after hours, we should probably get to $1,200 today. The goal is obviously to get to 1,500, but we're not quite there back into full group. So yeah, not too bad. All right, I'm going to do this quick work that I need to get done, and then we're going to do some prepping for whatnot. All right, we're almost there. I started to do this, I got distracted and I had to do some filming for actual whatnot. So anyway, it is now 4:30. I got to get out of here, drop the post off on the way home. I'll be back here again tomorrow, folks, doing it all again. And geez, felt like I haven't really got much what I wanted to get done today, but the good news is the CPU and the RAM that we just listed before, the photos, all done, sold, gone. We'll send it tomorrow, but I'll show you that tomorrow. Yeah, not too bad. Sorry, just closing off the computer. And yeah, like I said, back here in the morning, doing it all again. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day, getting the whatnot ready, but I'm excited for it. This will be all cleaned up tomorrow. Ciao. Folks, and just like that, it was Friday. We're here again, another week. Jeez, they're flying through. Just quickly, Carla's not in today. She's just with work arrangements at the moment, so hopefully next week she'll be here. I know you're all dying to see her. Yeah, less of me, more of her, yeah? Anyway, so Friday today, end of the week. Well, not really, because we've got our Whatnot show on Sunday, so today is just a lot of Whatnot show prepping. Outside of that, I've got Dion's in, and he's actually going to be pretty busy this morning because we had an order of 36 come through last night. We've got about 50 items to send out. It's probably only 15 orders, but yeah, some people, one guy, he came through and just went to town, and those are the people that I love. So very grateful for that. Good little start. So it's 21 orders, probably about 50 items. We're on 91,400. I've just got to get everything set up, get you on charge. I've got to do a little bit of admin this morning, just some personal stuff just before everything gets started. For me today, yeah, so the team's going to continue to do this. We'll probably have this finished today, that finished today, and then we need to start to get into probably going to get some more clothes happening for some washing next week, and I've got to do whatnot prep, and yeah, lots of things happening. I've got to continue to do the ewaste stuff, but really my priority is whatnot stuff first, so we'll focus on that. All right, let me get set up. I'll get you on charge, and we'll get into it, folks. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember, you make the day that you want it to be. So you got stuff that you got to get done, get it done. If you want to see that difference this year, if you want to see that difference of leveling up, you got to do the difference of the work that it's going to take to get there. It's that simple. Right, let's get into it. All right, team, just doing a little bit of admin. I'm about to do some listings as well, but I do have some good news on the update around some of that collection stuff that I was talking about last night. I was able to have a great conversation with where we're hopefully going to be launching our first place that we can actually pick up from. And that should happen in the next 2 weeks, I think. Could be more, could be less. So I was chatting to them about it, and yeah, that's exciting. So we are making progress on those areas, and I'll talk a bit about more of this in a bit more detail once things are actually happening, and explain how that works. Just the reason why I get iffy about talking about things is because one thing I don't like is when, you know, it's like people have ideas, or people, oh, we're going to be doing this, and then nothing comes to life. However, at the same time, I want to also help you understand the stuff that I'm working on a daily basis, because you know, that's what takes up my time. So it's like when people tell me, oh, you know, this year they're going to do this, and then, you know, you catch up with them 6 months later and it's like, nah, it wasn't for me. And it's like, oh, you know, you get excited for them and stuff. So really just toning it down until I know things are actually happening. But it is exciting. I can't hold it in. So if that takes off a bit, it might mean some new opportunities for here as well. So very excited for that. All right, it's 7:43. Just been doing some admin. I'm going to do some listings now and just wait for Dion to get in, and then focus on starting to prep for whatnot. All right, folks, this is the big lot of stuff. We've got a whole bunch of these phones just waiting to be paid again. They've messaged me, but we sold a whole bunch of CPUs and stuff, and some RAM from yesterday. We've got some games going out. We've got some shoes going out. We have clothes. Someone has ordered 36 items, I think it was, and someone else ordered like 12. So like there's some good bundles in here. Dion's gonna have to get creative of finding the best way to pack it. We also started to sell a few more jackets. Some people got some really good deals on these as well, but that's, you know, that's part of the game. So yeah, very happy with this. Good to see some things ticking over. I'm just in the middle of a phone call at the moment, but I wanted to show you guys that this was a nice little surprise. It'll be interesting to see what Monday morning's going to be like, if it keeps up this way. Won't hold my breath. Anyway. Alright team, it's been a bit. We've just been doing a little brainstorming and talking. A few things have popped up, but I'm just getting this space ready. So I'm going to have that table over here, so I can, because I'm not going to be hanging everything, and because we're going to be pulling stuff randomly. Like I haven't even looked in this, so I'm just actually having a look right now. Because I want to make sure I just have a bit of an idea of what I'm dealing with before we actually do it, just to be sensible. So because none of this is like, this isn't new or anything, but you know, it's all mixed. So we've got some Country Road, Ted Baker, some random stuff. I don't know what that is. So I am going to have to probably just do a quick triage of some of this, because some of it's not really worth it. But some Nike, some Guess jeans, but there's some good stuff in here, so we'll see. So yeah, just getting this ready. I'm gonna try and quickly just sort through a few things, and then yeah, make our final ready to go piles, or boxes, or tubs if you call them, and yeah, good to go. All right team, it has been a bit and finally gotten through all this. So we've actually had a change of plans. The Whatnot show is now pure men's, simply because I went through all the boxes and there is so much men's that I'm just going to focus on that, because all of that is men's and then all of that is men's. And then we've got some pretty cool bangers. We've got lots of jerseys in here. We've got some AFL stuff. We've got, yeah, more jerseys, a whole bunch of cool stuff. And yeah, so that's what we're going to focus on. It's probably about 300 pieces, maybe 200, but we'll see how we go. Everything starts at $1. It's all primarily men's now. Of course, by the time this comes out, that show's already happened. We're going to be testing out the box system, because I don't have everything hanged up. We're basically going to bring it up, show it, and then when it sells, it will go into a box in which someone's name will be on. I will be doing this show all by myself, so it is going to be a bit of a swig to do, but we'll make it happen. It's now 2:30. Dion's about to leave, so I'll attend to him, but then I'm going to clean up a whole bunch of things here. So whoever had this from a storage unit, like they've been buying this stuff. So I don't know if it was another reseller or something, but the person that I work with, he gets these from storage units. So yeah, we're basically just doing it and we're just splitting the money. So go to town on it. Once Dion's gone, I'll do a few more admin things, just make sure this is all prepped and ready to go, and then yeah, just finalize a few other little loose ends, and then it'll be almost home time. Ooh, all right, team. We've also done our washing bags that are getting picked up on Monday. We've got a whole bunch of denim and vintage stuff going out, which should be pretty fun. It's nice diesels there. So that's all done, and we actually starting to make a little bit more progress through this stuff in here. So this is good. I'm actually just going to spend a little bit of time out here just cleaning a few things up, and might even be able to test a few things before I leave. So back to it. Whew. All right, team. Just been doing a couple of the Macs. They were both, no good. One will probably be able to sell for parts, but the other one, smashed screen, locked, just makes it very difficult. And because it's not like a recent Mac, it's not really worth it. It is extremely hot in here. It's probably about 34 degrees. I'm melting. They've got a fan down there at least, but it's very hard to get anything done. So I'm going to just move into the office. But it's 4:15 now. We're about at the end of the day. I'm going to do a recap, of course, at the end of the day. But look, today has been a bit of a just sorting and shuffling things in here, so it's taken a bit of time. But we've actually done pretty good. Like, the week's shaping up to be pretty good. Obviously, we still have the whatnot to do, but right now we're sitting on $894 for the day. Still waiting for a couple of payments to come through for a few things, so that's always a bit frustrating. But there's probably about $800 in pending payments. Excuse me. But I'm actually pretty tired. It's been a big week. One thing which is interesting to see, we've been getting a lot of international orders from UK and Japan, which is a nice little uptick. So big kudos there. But we're basically done now. I've got to jake the post on the way home. Like I said, I was just doing a few testing. I tested a couple of mobile phones there, but they were both older models, not 4G compatible. There were a couple of Samsungs. Look, there is a little bit of resale value on them. They're both unlocked, but they're not big bucks, so, which is a bit unfortunate. So yeah, it's one of those days where we haven't really been able to show you as much. I mean, I've just been working, and obviously this whatnot's going to be a bit of an interesting one for the weekend, just because I'm a bit out of the game and haven't done it for such a long time. But hopefully it will be a success. Like I said, we've probably got about 200 to 400 items, all starting at $1. I think ASP is probably going to land closer to between 6 and 12. We should be all right. We should be okay if we can move it. And then anything else that, if anything else that doesn't move, it probably just goes back to the individual, and they can deal with what they like with it. So yeah, bit of a challenge, but it is what it is. I've been seeing quite a few people on whatnot doing some successful shows, so it's just a matter of just putting in the reps and being consistent. So hopefully we'll get back to a bit of a routine of doing some consistent whatnot shows. I just got to chat with Carla of what makes sense. Trying not to compromise into our personal time, although Carla's got something on Sunday, so that's why I'm doing the show, because she'll be out, and I figured, well, I'll just do the show anyway. So yeah, that's where my head's at. Look, I'm going to do a bit of a recap on the way home. I'm going to wrap it up there for now. I'm just going to quickly answer a couple of emails and send back before the weekend. But yeah, we'll talk soon. Hey, jeez, what a week, what a day. Tell you, it all just finished very interesting too, because I put my my coffee in my car, and I dropped it on the seat, and now it's gone everywhere. I've been cleaning it up for the last 5-10 minutes. Anyway, left now, hopefully we'll dry in the sun. It's so hot, it's so sticky. This week, I tell you, I feel like I say the same thing every week at this point. It's all a bit of a blur, and we go through such highs and lows and changes and switches and swifts, and it's just, look, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's hard to stay on top of, and my mind's running 1,000,000 miles an hour. I was chatting to my laptop guy, and we made the joke about how, you lie in bed, as men, we tend to you know, we're always thinking about the next thing, or we're thinking, oh, if I do this, I could get that. If I sell that, I can make this much money. It's always like that hunter-gatherer kind of style. It's just like inbuilt and ingrained into us. And, you know, some people, well, might not be like that, and that's all good. But I think, especially as a business owner, like there's always something else to be thinking about. And I just find myself constantly in demand of making decisions, or, you know, next steps, and having to continue to obviously, you know, check in with the team, and you know, working with some of my new clients and these contracts and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on, and by the time I get to the end of the week and I'm trying to think, oh, what did I do? It's like, I don't feel like I did a lot. All I know is I've just been doing lots of talking, decision making, and, you know, testing and all these different things, or working on new processes, and it's time consuming, and it's mentally, you know, tiring. So, but all in all, like, you know, this week we it's interesting because last week we did a whole bunch of wholesale. This week we haven't done a whole bunch of wholesale, but the numbers are still adding up. They're actually pretty good, and that's because we've had an uptick in sales, which I'm super grateful for. And if we can keep this momentum going into February, March, April, May, June, those are usually our biggest months. Usually they continue to rise. So we've got a good backlog of stock ready to go. We're sending out washing on Monday, and that's some high-end stuff. That's a lot of vintage sweaters from that big deal way back. So we're really leaving that ready to go for this period. So we'll get all that washed, that'll be good to go. We've got all my consignment stuff. We've got the whatnot on Sunday. So many moving pieces. And then we've got this new collection stuff that, look, I'm basically just waiting for a phone call of when I am starting and helping with that. So, you know, if I was to be looking inwards to my business, I'd be saying, Chris, you're doing a bit too much. But I'm finding that bit too much is actually at work, and that's what I like. You know, I don't really want to be hustling over the weekend. I'm sure I'm doing the whatnot, but that's like I said, I'm doing that because Carla's away, so I'm like, you know what, I'll do it and get back into that groove. But I don't really want to keep doing whatnots on the weekend. That's not really what I'm trying to achieve here. You know, ideally I don't like having to do whatnot all the time either, because I like to be able to do the eBay set and forget and be happy days. But you know, depending on the type of stock and your business model, it makes sense to do that. So with this storage unit stuff that I've got from one of my consignees, it makes sense to do that. So that's why we're doing. The other good news is I just got an email just before I left, notification that that other deal that we've been working on for the trade-in program, that pricing model stuff that I've been doing, like literally the email just came through. We've got our first one, and it was meant to arrive this week. Well, it has arrived. It's arrived today. So I've got to do that Monday. It hasn't arrived to me. It's arrived to the people that I'm working with. So we're catching up on Monday to go through that. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I can't go into the details on my phone, but yeah, it looks like it's 4 devices with a total value of potentially we could be spending $260, $300, and hopefully for a maybe 700 plus return. So that's pretty cool. Exciting that that's finally getting kicked off. So that's next week. Anyway, all in all, this week's been really great. Few highs, few lows. Definitely feeling more high because we've seen some great results coming into the end of the week, which I said earlier through the week, you know, like I try to be as transparent about how I'm feeling with everything, simply because that is the roller coaster we ride. When the numbers are down, it's deflating, right? It doesn't give you that high energy. But as a business owner and as someone that, you know, has my ambition, you know, I can't compromise on that. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going. So yeah, in terms of the numbers, and I'll give you a full proper breakdown at the end of the week. Like you'll see, you'll see it now. So at the end of my week, which is Sunday, today's Friday, obviously I don't have the numbers, so I'm going to put an updated screenshot up. But in terms of this week, we're on track to probably do somewhere around 8,700, not including whatnot. Whatnot's probably, look, even if we do $1,000 on whatnot, might be less than that, might be more than that. We're probably we we should end up getting close to that $10,000 mark. That's where I'd hopefully like to get to. And then obviously Sunday we start February, so it's the end of the month. And at the end of the month, that means I'm going to give you the full details, and it's actually been a really good month. Like, considering that we've only worked 2.5 weeks of the month, we're sitting on about 739 sales. We've listed 693, so almost net. We're a bit behind there, but like I said, we were away, so that makes sense. But in terms of revenue, we're sitting at right now, we're sitting on 32,471. I quickly put this on my notes before I left. So we should land at 33 and a bit, probably 33,500. And net profit at the moment, net profit after everything, so what's back in my pocket, we're sitting at 3,904. So we should get to close to probably 4.5, which is going to get us closer to that probably 15% margin, which is actually one of our best months profit wise we've had in probably the last 6 months. So very happy with that. And that's after paying the team, that's after rent and all the other expenses. Now rent goes up next week, so we'll be paying 4% more, 3% more. Jeez. It's all happening. Anyway, that's it from me. Look, I'm going to leave you with a quick little, well, after this we're going to jump onto the whatnot, but I will leave you with this to think about. Is like, what is separating you from getting you to where you want to be? And I think there's a lot of people that, want to be successful on eBay or want to be successful in general. And what separates you from being on the good side, or maybe not so good side of eBay, or let's just say the line of whatever we're defining success as, is really the gap in which you have not yet done. So for instance, if you want to walk 100 kilometers, right? The only way to walk 100 kilometers is you've got to walk the 100 kilometers. So if you've got a big, ambitious goal ahead of you of like you want to go full time, or you just want to up your part time, or you want to do a little bit more, or you want to try a new category. Maybe you don't even want to do eBay. Maybe you want to try whatnot. Maybe you want to start a YouTube. Maybe you just want to get a new promotion or whatever. The thing that's stopping you is the gap between getting there. So if it means you've got to have a new skill set to get to that next level, get the new skill set. If it means, you want to sell clothing, you have to learn more about clothing, right? And a lot of people think, oh, but that's too hard. Well, that's it. You got to choose your hard. Chatting to my mate, and actually he's got his own YouTube channel, the Tech Flipper. If you're keen to see some things about technology, go check him out. But yeah, he's really cool. But he was saying, it's like you got to choose your hard, right? What is your hard? What is the thing that you're willing to do to get yourself to that next level? And a lot of people aren't willing to do it. You get to choose it, you get to define it, but you have to do it, right? So choose it and do it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm about to rock up to the post office. We'll be back again next week. We're going to jump over to some whatnot stuff. I'll show you that shortly, but we'll talk about it next week as well. So if you did have any questions or thoughts, more than happy to continue the conversation. Drop it down below, and we'll be back here again next week and do it all again. Ciao! All right, we're here back on Sunday for the Whatnot show. Just about to go live. Got 10 minutes, so just getting myself ready. We're going to be trying the box system, as I mentioned. Just got all the details up in the bank. Got the camera ready. I'm going to do a quick little short film so I can do a bit of behind the scenes. Yeah, getting all the boxes ready down here. Should be a good one. Got to get some fluids over here as well, and be ready to rock and roll. It's just me here today, so gonna have to make it happen regardless. All right, let's do it. Whew, all right, we are done. That was a big show. It's now 1:30. We've got heaps of stuff I've got to clean up and sort and get through. Really grateful, everyone that showed up. Some people got some absolute bangers. Probably was expecting a little bit more, but first show back and we haven't been consistent, so people got some bangers, got some deals, got some good stuff. And we did $761 in revenue. Got to take out fees on that, and then I do consignment with the person that I did this for. So there's a couple of items that were some from our own business that I have to deduct. It's probably about only about $20 or something, and then we'll split the rest with the the individual that we did the deal with. But yeah, altogether, I think estimated earnings is probably going to land at about probably around $600. So we should get $300 each, which is pretty good, all things considered, for my work and then for them providing the stock. So very happy with that.